Yo, hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. We've got Okonjo-Iweala given second term as World Trade Organization chief as Trump's return looms over the trade body's future. And I've seen a couple of headlines out there that are using the word threat. And so it's real interesting, man. Is the World Trade Organization scared of Donald Trump? That's a good question, man. Hey, let's get into it. The World Trade Organization's chief says she's eager to work with U.S. President Donald Trump and his trade team while taking a wait-and-see stance about Trump's plans to impose new tariffs on goods from other countries, including China, Mexico, and Canada. The World Trade Organization's chief said on Friday she's eager to work with President-elect Donald Trump and his team while she's taking that wait-and-see approach. The director, Okonjo-Iweala, made the comments to reporters after member countries handed her a second four-year term in a vote with no opposition. The Geneva-based trade body's future is clouded by Trump's looming return to power in January in the U.S., home to the world's single biggest economy. Aren't we like 35% of the world's GDP? Because he pledges to slap unilateral tariffs on foreign goods entering the country could face challenges at the World Trade Organization. See, this is my problem with the World Trade Organization, okay? Constantly, the United Nations and these centralized bodies around the world that are funded by elites. If you look at where a lot of these, especially like the World Health Organization, if you look at where a lot of these institutions are getting their money from, they are literally funded by the same elites that want to dominate us day in and day out. It's like they're levers of power, right? And that, like we were talking about before, they utilize the language of empathy to trick us into letting them do it, right? And dude, I can't stand this subversion of national sovereignty, man. No, we have a right to impose tariffs within our country. That's domestic, bro. You do not. The World Trade Organization does not have the right to force or pressure us into international treaties with countries where we are at a deficit. Look, maybe only 400 million people in this country, huge country, tons of natural resources. I can understand how the world's elite, right? The billionaires and the trillionaires up there are looking at us and saying, man, dude, we need to bring them in line with more like a second world nation. This is not fair. You've got people starving in South Africa. You've got in Central Africa. You've got South America struggling to reach the same heights as the U.S. There's only 400 million people in there. The GDP per capita, the amount of natural resources, the how large we are as a country. I can understand how when you're looking at things from that central management perspective, it looks like it's some sort of unfair situation. But what they're not calculating is how many resources are they sitting on? How much money are they sitting on? Yo, in 1905, the Rothschild family had over $500 trillion, over half of the world's wealth. And now they control it, the finances of the world through institutions like BlackRock and Vanguard. And how much do they own through that? Probably way more. If I thought it was like upwards of 90%, but that I could be totally misremembering, dog. But dude, so and they say the Rothschilds divested their finances, et cetera, et cetera. They didn't divest their finances. They used their finances to gain ownership of the world that we are surrounded by. Okay, and so these people who are funding these organizations, who are funding these institutions, who work to subvert the sovereignty of our country day in and day out on a worldwide basis, are going to tell us that we have too many resources, that we are too large of the world's GDP, that we in the middle and lower class, and even just the upper class of this country, $400,000 and above, bro, you don't count compared to these people, man. Dude, how about you take your money and actually divest it? How about you take your money and you put it into the hands of people in South America, in Central Africa? How about you do that, bro? How many resources do you own? How many resources does the royal family own? And you're going to sit here and try to lecture us as though we in some way are responsible for the pain in the world, bro. They do the same thing with climate change. When we are below, individuals driving a car, living our lives, we're below 5% of the carbon emissions out there. Even if you take climate change at face value for what they tell you it is, dude. And just to be clear, I think climate change today is the modern day version of pharaohs back in the day in Egypt telling people that the weather's bad because God is angry. But we can get into that another day. But even if you take the carbon narrative on its face, the elites in their manufacturing base is way more responsible for carbon productions than we are. In fact, if all of the world's elite stopped producing carbon emissions, it would do more to reduce carbon emissions than if everyone in the US stopped driving a car, bro. Dude, like, this is the fact that we are supposed to accept the narratives that they give us in order to limit us, to reduce our class mobility, in order to push their neoliberal corporatist agenda. The excuses that they give us, the narratives that they give us are completely broken when you realize they are not applying them to themselves at all. And they are responsible for the vast majority of the very issues that they are rallying against. Dude, like, are you kidding me? Like the problem, reaction, solution pattern irritates the crap out of me, man. And it even applies to Kamala Harris's planned economic policy that she was going to use to try to fix this country, which would have been a snowball effect leading us to Venezuela. But anyway, okay. Whew. While Trump, before his first term, threatened to pull the U.S. out of the World Trade Organization, Okonjo-Iweala said there's a general recognition that the organization needs to be supported and pointed to U.S. interests in intellectual property protections and product safety fostered by the trade body. The World Trade Organization and its rules underpin 75 to 80% of global trade, she said. Okonjo-Iweala expressed hopes to help strike a deal in the World Trade Organization that would phase out $22 billion in harmful subsidies in the fisheries industry that raised worries about damage to ocean's fish stocks. Okay, man, I don't trust the UN. I don't trust these global bodies. What are you talking about? Reducing subsidies for fisheries to save the fish, bro. What about getting food on the people's plates? Where's your plan to get food on people's plates, bro? Look, do we need to crack down on China's fishing practices and the way that they just carpet clean the ocean? They just come through and clean out swaths of the ocean, destroy coral reefs, take everything, leave nothing behind? Absolutely we do. Absolutely that needs to be approached. And absolutely there needs to be some level of body internationally that goes to China and says, yo, what are you doing? Or maybe the U.S. can. Somebody needs to do something about that. But dude, what is this? Subsidies for farmers? This has nothing to do with addressing harmful fishing practices. From what I'm hearing, what this has to do with is reducing the amount of fishers out there catching fish, because apparently it will allow for more fish to reproduce? What is that, bro? Dude, constantly, they're using climate to shut down farms. They're using the CDC to kill chickens and hens and reduced access to our food. Bro, what are they doing? And now they're trying to use it on a global scale. We've already got fertilizer, but more than 20% in production drop from where it was 2 years ago. What are they doing to our food access, man? What are these guys do? Like, no, I don't trust you, lady. Dude, during his first term, the Trump administration largely bypassed World Trade Organization rules by imposing tariffs on steel and other goods from countries including China and even U.S. allies, which were continued by Biden. So this whole partisan framing that they're doing, bro, is dishonest. On Monday, Trump vowed sweeping new tariffs on Mexico, Canada, as well as China as soon as he takes office as part of his effort to crack down on illegal immigration and drugs. Yeah, good. Yo, China needs to stop shipping precursors to fentanyl into Mexico. Dude, China needs to stop working with these gangs. What is this? There's a gang that's been taking over things. It's like the new something cartel. Fuck, I forget the name. Bro, I've been looking into them. I'm pretty sure they have hardcore China connections, dog. Like potentially CCP members involved in some level of that organization, dude. And they are taking shit over in China. I mean Mexico. They are taking shit over in Mexico. Mexico is going through a major shift right now politically, where it seems like the government was pushing back before with the last administration and trying to vie for it. Zeta, stop it. Come on now. No more. Stop. Trying to vie for its administration as a power base in Mexico. And with this new administration, I don't know what's going on between, China and its Belt and Road Initiative and the way that it uses finance and trade and money to win people over. I don't know what's going on there, but there seems to be a shift over the past 2 years in Mexico that seems to be aligning the cartels with more power and authority in Mexico, especially in the institutions of government, and aligning them with China, which is not what we want, especially with Mexico replacing China largely as a manufacturing center around the world in this larger global shift. We do not want China aligned with Mexico from a military cartel standpoint. The CCP is essentially a collection of cartels, okay? So the relationship between the CCP is essentially a cartel of mafias, right, in China. And so the relationship between the CCP and the cartels of Mexico could get way deeper than a lot of us ever imagined, dog. Like, this could get bad, bro. Like, we need to stop this now. Such tariffs, if imposed, could face a challenge through the World Trade Organization's dispute resolution process, though its body that hears appeals is not operating, largely because of U.S. unwillingness to let new members be appointed to it. Come on, man. Dude, because the U.S. was controlled by neoliberal elites for so long, the U.S. is like the toothpick that so much of this neoliberal world order, you hear the new world order and you hear clips of all these politicians and all these people talking about new world order, right? Well, it's actually a reference to classical liberalism versus neoliberalism. When they say new world order and then you hear people talk about the liberal world order, they're talking about the new liberal world order, the neoliberal world order, the corporatist world order, right? That's what that's referring to. It's not a crazy conspiracy. It's not, whatever, Illuminati. It's just that it's literally an acknowledgement of the shift from classical liberalism to neoliberalism as we enter this neoliberal world order based instead of striving to be based on principles from the Enlightenment era like the U.S. was originally pushing for. We're now moving to be based on more modern, postmodern interpretations that push neoliberalism and corporatism through the hijacking of the language of empathy, right? That's really what that's all about when you hear that. And the U.S. was their mechanism to do it. It was their strong arm of God to get it done throughout the whole last century. So the U.S. is literally like that toothpick, right? That they have that whole system built upon, right? And if we can get a hold of this before they build new supports to prop it up, bro, we can bring the whole thing down, dog. I'm being so serious. I know I sound silly as hell, but dog, I'm so serious right now. And this example with the World Trade Organization is exemplifying it perfectly. Her second term will officially begin next September. Until we get specifics in terms of what is planned, I think it would be a bit premature to pronounce on these issues, she said, referring to Trump's plans. I think we should wait for actual policies, Okonjo-Iweala said. Oh, yeah, I got the name down. And we're very much looking forward to working in a productive fashion. Yeah, man. Yeah, they're on their heels and they're nervous because they've been caught out and vulnerable, and their lack of actual power and the fact that everything they asserted in reality is soft power is now being exposed. So yeah, of course, they're trying to play the PR game and figure out how they can weasel their way back into influence. So yeah, no, screw you, World Health Organization. Screw you, World Trade Organization. Both of y'all. I don't trust y'all. I don't trust the United Nations. Y'all need to look up the 1966 Global Disarmament Plan. I got an article on it on my website. It's chromo.com. Please check that out. And what I think it means in terms of how the UN relates to our sovereignty and how we should take that as a signal for what the UN's intentions are for national sovereignty just in general in moving into the future. So yeah, please check that out, guys. So hey, Please like and subscribe. I appreciate you. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you for putting up with me for so long. I know I can be a little obnoxious, so thank you so much, man. It's been great. I appreciate you, and I can't wait to talk to you on the next segment, which is going to be something not related to Trump. I didn't expect it to be a Trump day today, but it was, right? So I'll talk to you guys in the next one.